Hey, what's up, sports bettors? What we're doing in this video is we are going to go through a promotion on WynnBET Sportsbook, and we are also going to place our sharp bet of the day. So to place this bet on WynnBET and take advantage of this promotion, you can see on WynnBET I have these things called chips. We've explained it in other videos, but these chips are pretty cool because what they do is if you place a parlay, the chips allow you to get boosted odds. It boosts the odds of your parlay. So the first bet we're going to take is we're going to take Eagles minus 110 odds. You can see that looks like a pretty great price on WynnBET. You know, every other sportsbook basically is down at minus 125, minus 123, minus 118. So it definitely seems like there's value on the Eagles at minus 110. And the line on Pinnacle is plus 111, minus 123. So the first bet we're going to lock in is the Eagles money line. The market on Pinnacle is plus 111, minus 123, which once we remove the juice, remove the vig from Pinnacle, gives us an estimate of the fair odds at minus 116.38. And we're getting minus 110, which is obviously better than minus 116.38. So this is a positive expected value bet. So our first bet is going to be Eagles money line. And what we're going to say is we're just going to put in our fair win percentage, which is 53.79, since we need to place a parlay. And this is, you know, whatever, the spreadsheet I typically lose. So this is Eagles money line, typically use, not typically lose. But so we have Eagles money line minus 110 odds as our first bet. And we like this because, you know, we can just make this Pinnacle fair odds. And we like this bet in our parlay because, again, the fair price, according to betting markets, you know, looking at the lines from, we've got to go back to this game. But if we go back to the Eagles game, what you can see is, you know, this just looks like there's pretty clear value on WynnBET Eagles minus 110, considering every other sportsbook is down at roughly minus 125. And we can still pick up minus 110 on WynnBET. So it seems like that's, you know, pretty great as lines have been moving towards the Eagles over the course of the day for opening, you know, lines for NFL Week 11. So we have our first bet, and now we need to look for another line from WynnBET. There are some live opportunities, but I'm not going to, you know, look for a live opportunity. But what we can see is, you know, maybe Missouri plus 285 is a good bet. And we can kind of look around, see if there's anything we like. And we can see in Utah State versus Wyoming, under 54 points is minus 110 odds on WynnBET. That, again, is a direct arb to Pinnacle. Pinnacle is all the way down at minus 134. So if we click on this game and we can go to under 54, you can see most sportsbooks have the spread set at 52.5, over under 52.5, and we're able to get over under 54 on WynnBET. So that seems like a pretty incredible bet. So our second leg will be Wyoming versus Utah State, two teams I've never watched play. Under 54 odds, minus 110. Again, I don't know anything about these teams, but just looking at the market, every other sportsbook basically has the total set at, you know, 52.5, and we're able to pick up an additional 1.5 points in the total on WynnBET at minus 110 odds. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back here before this line moves, and we're going to go to college football, and we have to find Wyoming. And you can see under 54, minus 110 odds. So we'll place our parlay for $500, and we're getting plus 264 odds. So we'll go through that in a second. But first, let's just place this bet before the lines move. And of course, it logs me out. So I have to log back in. Boom, log back in. $500, minus 110 odds, confirming location. Okay, successfully validated, $500. So now we have under 54, Wyoming, Utah State, and you can see this is blocking it a little, but with these chips, whenever I place a parlay, it tells me, hey, you can spin the wheel. And if you spin the wheel, it lets you boost the odds of your parlay. So we're going to get better than plus 264, right? So I'm going to hit spin the wheel. And you'll see, you know, there are different options we can win. So this one right here showing a picture of a hotel room, if, you know, your little slot, if the wheel lands on that, you win a free trip to the Wynn in Las Vegas, which is a very nice hotel. But regardless, you know, you typically just get a boost of the odds on your parlay. So what we're going to do here, so we'll spin that wheel. While that wheel is spinning, we can put in Pinnacle's market, minus 134, plus 110. So minus 134 plus 110. That was Pinnacle's market, which means the fair price on Wyoming under 54 points should be minus 120.26. We got minus 110, which is obviously, much better. Of course, I get the worst possible boost. I get 5%. But, regardless, this is boosted from plus 264 to plus 278 odds. So we got Eagles money line in Wyoming game. I think they're playing Utah State under 54 minus 110 odds. And this is all just from line shopping, right? Identifying value in the odds. So the win percentage for this bet, according to the zero vig line from Pinnacle, should be 54.6%. And we have our parlay placed at plus 278 odds for both these bets to hit, right? So if the Eagles win and the Wyoming game goes under, so we have Eagles money line plus Wyoming under 54 parlay, and this was initially plus 264 odds, but it's boosted to plus 278 with this little spin wheel thing. So it's boosted to plus 278. So we bet $500, right? So our profit if we win, we're placing this bet at plus 278 odds, is 2.78 times 500, so 1390. So that's not particularly bad. Here we have our fair win percentage, right? So the fair win percentage of our parlay, these games are uncorrelated. The Eagles winning has no correlation to the Wyoming-Utah State game going under 54 points. So we simply multiply these probabilities together to get an indication of the joint fair win percentage, right? What's the probability the Eagles win and the Wyoming game goes under? Because these events are uncorrelated, we can simply multiply these probabilities together. And we can see that we should be winning this bet 0.36% of the time, according to the zero vig lines from Pinnacle. And the reason we use Pinnacle as an estimate of the fair win percentages is Pinnacle is one of the most efficient betting markets in the world. But again, if you want to, you can use other sports books and take a weighted average or something like that to get an estimation of the fair win probability for a bet. All that OddsJam does, right, is we show you odds, right? We just display data. There's no picks on OddsJam. It's solely displayed data, and you can make a determination for yourself on if you like the bet or not. So you can see here, Pinnacle is all the way down at minus 134. Most books have the total set at 52.5. We can pick up an additional 1.5 points in the total and still get minus 110 on WynnBet. Seems like a pretty good bet, right? Even FoxBet has the total for under 52.5 set at minus 118. So it seems like there's some value in under 54 minus 110. You definitely wouldn't want to bet the over 54 minus 110 when you can bet, over 52 minus 107 on Bet Rivers. That seems much better than over 54 minus 110 odds on WynnBet. But long story short, just line shopping. So we bet $500. We got, for this parlay. So if we go back here, you can see that we placed this parlay at plus 264 odds. The odds are boosted by 5% to plus 278 odds. So we have, a profit of plus 1390 if we win, right? 2.78 times our stake of $500. So our loss percentage, our fair loss percentage, is just going to be 1 minus our win percentage. So according to the fair, zero vig lines, we should be losing this bet 70.6% of the time. So 70.6% of the time, we're going to be losing $500, which is our stake, and 29.3% of the time, we're going to be winning $13.90, which is our profit of a $500 stake at plus 278 odds. So the expected value of this bet with the WynnBet spin wheel is, 29.36% of the time, we're winning $13.90. The other 70.6% of the time, we are losing $500. So this bet, this WynnBet promotion, has an expected return of $55, right? Which is pretty high considering our stake was only $500. So the expected return on this bet is 11%. So it's a very profitable, mathematically profitable sports bet. And, you know, that's really the purpose of these chips on Wynn. They're pretty great. I've won stays to the win, which is pretty cool. And you also get these boosts on your parlays, which make them more profitable than they initially are. So if you're able to line shop with OddsJam and kind of find good lines, like under 54 WynnBet minus 110 odds, you can add some extra value to your parlay on WynnBet by just using these chips. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions about sports betting, anything at all, you can reach out to us. And thanks so much for your time.